nothing went through. Hey guys, Brandon here with Texas Plinking. As you can see, it's a pretty fun video today. Now before we get into it, I'm very appreciative of our video sponsor. It's actually a pretty serious one this time around. That is USCCA, which is the United States Concealed Carry Association. A study from 2018 showed that in the United States alone, a violent crime happens every 26 seconds. Now you might have the complacency in thinking that that'll never happen to you. That's the kind of dangerous level of complacency though. You see, if I were to tell you that every 26 seconds that everyone in the United States randomly gets elected to win $1 million, then you might think it might happen to you. The difference is it's not really fun to think about a violent crime happening to you or your family. So when it comes to your firearm, training, and legal protection, it's best to have and not need than to need and not have. Many of you guys already know this, and that's exactly why you possess a firearm. But that's only part of the equation. Of course, the best firearm is the one that you have and have a lot of experience and confidence with. But USCCA is that other part of the equation that can get you that confidence. Not only because of the access that their members have as far as training, but also their legal protection. Let me be very clear. If you used a firearm justifiably to protect yourself or a loved one, there could still be civil suits and criminal charges pressed against you. It could be a very messy road to go down alone. And as a member with USCCA, you can be sure you never go down that road alone. That's why I would highly recommend checking the link in the description to just at least look into getting a membership with the USCCA. For $22 a month, it might just be the best thing you ever do for all your firearm training needs as well as legal protection. But anyway, with all that said, let's get into the fun of this video. We got a pretty fun one for today. We're gonna be testing out some armor. Now, it seems like every YouTuber has done some kind of test of body armor, so I wanna join the party now. But thankfully, this is going to happen because Ace Link Armor was cool enough to send some stuff for me to test out. We're going to test out some of their hard and soft armor, but they were cool enough to send this out to me as well. I won't destroy this one because I actually ended up liking it a ton. But this right here is a armor plate carrier filled with some plates. We have got some hard armor front and back right here, and on the back rated to 308. That's actually the exact same as this guy right here. And on the sides, we have got some malleable, really comfortable soft armor that should be rated up to 44 Magnum, which is pretty much the same thing as this material right here. But this is kind of more for if you want to run a lighter plate. So they sent me this in kind of the olive drab, or not olive drab, but like FDE coyote color. And added some patches right away. I added the Punisher logo because a little homage to Chris Kyle. He always had that on everything and represented it. I always thought that was really cool. But hey, I've grown to really want it, and so I don't want to punch any holes in it. That's why thankfully they sent some extras. So the soft armor, again, 44 Magnum, hard for 308. We're gonna test what it's rated for, kind of work up a pretty steep ramp, and then we're gonna test it with some stuff that's not rated for, just to kind of see where it gives. But something to know, this is not even their hardest armor that they make from the hard armor series. This is level 3. They make some pretty crazy stuff. So yeah. This isn't a sponsored video, just for transparency's sakes. Ace Link Armor was cool enough to send this to me, but the bullets have no bias. They go through or they don't. So we'll find out pretty shortly here. All right, I just made a video with this recently. I told you guys whenever I need a represented 22, it was gonna come out. Performance Center SW22 Victory. We see the little circumference there, just being a 22 long rifle. It ripped here, so it makes me think it kind of fragged out. It's a little hollow point anyway, but it kind of bulges out a little bit, but then it kind of pops back. So I'm thinking if I was wearing that, it would probably poke pretty good, but obviously you would be just fine. So let's go back out there and work up 9mm. M17, Lewis Pull Delta Point Pro. Trying to go for kind of centered up here. Just the way it moved around, you could tell that 9mm obviously got a lot more mass downrange. Here's the hit right here, not too far from the 22. And of course, nothing gone through. This is a 230 grain, pretty much a slug, 45 ACP full metal jacket out of a Springfield Armory 1911 TRP. I'll show you guys the back of it first. You see this slight rip. Of course, nothing went through though. The reason that even ripped though, check out how close that was to the 9mm. So this was already a very compromised area. All right, we're moving down a little bit on caliber, but it's a Magnum. So it's going out screaming hot. This is a 357 Magnum. We got 2 rounds in here, Smith & Wesson 686 plus. Forgot to mention, I think it's really cool they put the bullet stops here, kind of a take off the buck stops here from what Truman said. But it certainly is stopping. Just hugely warped. It just fragged out huge, but not even ripping through. All right, a 44 Magnum. That's a bad day for anyone not shooting it. It went flying. So that probably tells me it absorbed it pretty good, but wouldn't have felt too good. Let's check it out. All right, well, I try to go a little bit more central, but I just went right where all the traffic was. So it's pretty compromised, kind of dead center here. That's definitely a 44. And so pretty good rip here because that's obviously been stressed, but nothing's gone through. And that's what it's rated for. And we hit it on a compromised part already. So big old pass on that one. We're just about to, at this point, we're about to just get silly with it and go to some 50 cals and all that fun stuff. It is not rated for a 50 AE, but it stopped everything so far, so it's got to happen. 300 grain XTP from Hornady. It's a really bad day. Is that the 44 is bad? That one doesn't mess around. Just center mouse on some soft armor. Let's see what happens. I don't know. All right, I'm kind of looking at this real time here with y'all. That's unmistakably a 50 right there. So it is actually a pretty unscathed part for the most part of a pretty compromised soft armor. This last layer has not got a hole in it. You know what? That's a pretty good angle. If you could get some light in there, you could totally see it got met right at that last layer. But we can go bigger. You guys could guess it's the 500 Magnums up next. Let's go ahead and load in that torpedo. Oh, the whole target's down. Oh gosh. All right, let's check up on it. I totally forgot. I think that was 357 Magnum, which already kind of doesn't mess around. So we were pretty close to that with the 500 Magnum. So pretty compromised part of it and pretty much flared out here. For the most, oh yeah, there we go. We could kind of go page by page. Are you kidding me? Look what just fell out. There it is. Wow. All right, so just right at the cusp. I think it technically stopped it because it just popped out of here. And that is piping hot, so. Wow, all right, well, it caught it. Still, would have been a pretty bad day if you got shot by that wearing this still. But we could kind of go page by page here. So we hit right here, seeing how it went through about quarter of it there, about half, about 3/4, starts to kind of flake out a little bit there. And then right towards the end here, this last layer of foam or whatever, it was pretty much stopped to the point to where it just rolled out of this. Technically, it stopped the 500 Magnum. It just went to the very last page of it, so that's still hot. Well, you guys can make your opinions on that as you will. That's very impressive. Rifles, just like I said, they hit with a whole different kind of authority for their velocity alone. This is a 62 grain ball round from Pine Valley Munitions. To be fair, this is already a compromised target, but my money would be it would have done the same thing anyway. Rifles are just a whole different thing when they're screaming hot like that. You can see the 223, how small of a circumference that is, and not even phase. Incredibly tiny exit, the exact same diameter as probably the bullet itself, you can see. So yeah, that's just what happens when you have velocity, just right through it effortlessly. But that's why they have hard armor. For what it was rated for, it held up great. We're gonna also do a pretty steep ramp up on this for what it's rated for and what it's not rated for, so stand by for that. Real quick, before we move over to the hard armor, I wanna talk about some of the features real quickly on this kind of plate carrier and why I like it so much. Again, this is not a sponsored video at all. They were nice enough to send this to me, so I don't really have to go into the nitty gritty, but just kind of messing around with it, I just really liked it. So figured I'd kind of mention it a little bit more here. But I'll kind of show you guys real quickly how to put the plates in. So from the front here, you have this little Velcro. I won't take it all the way out because it's like a really snug fit. You go ahead and kind of undo that Velcro. You can see I have one of the hard armors in there. Same thing is true for the back. And then on the side here, you can see that's the soft armor right there to 44 Magnum, or now I know, probably even 500 Magnum maybe. I don't know if you guys want to use them and just have a weighted vest for working out, or just kind of look at your reflection in the mirror and just think that you look really cool. They're sweet, I like them. We're gonna start again actually with 9mm, knowing it's gonna stop it, but I'm just curious how the material warps, if it does at all, or if it just totally bounces off. I have no clue. So we're gonna shoot 9mm again out of a Glock 19 Gen 4. To change it up, let's go ahead and put it in the MCK. I made a video with this as well, the CAA MCK. That way, you have a little bit of stability here. Change the feel quite a bit. There we go. Interesting. All right, so if I had to describe what this feels like, it feels like some kind of heavy kind of plywood with like a rubberized coating. As far as the weight and everything, it's really not bad. So I was kind of curious how it was gonna react to the bullet. Well, it just ate it up, just soaked it in there. And now you kind of see these bubble things of kind of where it fragged out. And there's a slight warp, very, very small. When I said steep ramp, I meant it. We're gonna go 50 AE already on the Desert Eagle. A gold one. I believe these might be even more powerful, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh. A little unfair for the plate. I hit way low, so it's a pretty weak point on it. It still didn't go all the way through. You see how many more plates there are here, but it warped it pretty good. I could kind of warp it back, but yeah, you could see it went through maybe about a quarter through, but just a really weak part of the plate, kind of the edge there, so my bad. We got a 5.56. This grazed right through soft armor without a problem. So 62 grain, full metal jacket on hard armor, going for center mass here. Let's see what happens here. All right, so I wasn't too far off from the 9mm. I was actually just about right here, so kind of more on the edge, and ripped through a little. The bullet itself still trapped in there. I bet if we wanted to, I'll try to keep it nice and tight as we're testing it, but we could probably get that round back out of there. You guys should recognize this gun. Made a video of it not too long ago. The Springfield Armory St. Victor 308 pistol, AR-10 pistol, pretty sweet. You guys might recognize it because there was a giveaway on it. So thanks to everyone who went over to the Facebook page and followed and got an entry into this thing. But the winner has been picked. And again, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. But for right now, out of a fairly short barrel 308 here, let's see what that does to hard armor. What a mule. Again, 308 kind of hit it on the side there, but it kind of works to kind of show you that that made it through almost about halfway through. You kind of see the fragments of the bullet right in there. So because it's on the side, it looks way worse than it is, but that's just because it kind of flared out some. But definitely did not go through. It is all trapped in there. CMMG Endeavor 6.5 Creedmoor 24-inch barrel, so it's got velocity. Let's see what happens. Center mass here. Ooh. There's our entrance right here, so pretty good spot to hit it if there is one. And nothing went through. Again, just super misconfigured and warped and all that fun stuff. But yeah, long story short, it didn't go through. That's a fast bullet out of that barrel. It's a bad round right there. That's a 7.62 by 54R. Big projectile. It's pretty darn fast. We're gonna be shooting it out of this, the Romanian PSL. Ooh. Let's just be clear. It's already stopped what it's rated to stop, and a 6.5 on a compromised target. So let's check this one out though. Short answer, it did stop it. Some of this kind of material kind of ripped through. That's fine though. In short, yeah, it is stopping that bullet, which is kind of crazy. The structural rigidity is when it's really tightly wound. So when we're shooting, it's already starting to, well, expand, as you can see. So we're shooting something much weaker as we continue to shoot it. That makes sense, that's to be expected. So just, you know, keep that in mind as we ramp up the calibers, but it had stopped the 7.62 by 54R. All right, we got a 8mm by 57 JS round out of course, the Mauser Kar98K. This thing always breaks everything I ever shoot at it, so. That's just all kind of mangled up, but from what I can see, nothing poking out at all, actually. Oh, wow. This is all pretty unscathed right here. Not even 3/4 of the way, just about 3/4 of the way. All right, well, compromised target. It stopped a couple silly big rounds there. All right, 500 Magnum, why not? Let's just end it. And sure enough, look how small the punched holes are from the rifle cartridges, and then the 500 Magnum right dead in the middle there. I had to go find this in different pieces, but in short, nothing went through. We're just gonna do a 5.56 one more time, but with green tip armor penetrating rounds on whatever's left of this. But so far, nothing's gone through. This might do it. All right, that's a green tip there, so that's pretty good at going through things. Let's try it out. All right, not fair at all for this thing, but it did cook through because I hit it kind of where the 58E had already hit. Right there, that's a green tip. I would say it really only had to fight through 1/4 of the armor because the rest of it was already mangled in that area. So I'm just trying to be fair to the plate here, but I thought I would do it. Green tip is a mean thing. But if we were to start with a fresh plate here, then I'm sure the results would have been way different. Not to mention, this is like their mid-range of their, or entry kind of range for hard armor. And it did everything that it was supposed to do for its rated calibers, but it has level 4 and some crazy stuff if you so wish. But this plate right here, I think it goes for like $197 or so, and they kind of go up from there. They come in FDE or black, this one specifically, the level 3. No, it's some sweet stuff. So you guys might not have heard about them. They're pretty small. They only have like a couple thousand followers on Instagram. So I kind of like the small companies. I'm really grateful they reached out to me and let me shoot some of their armor. Big thanks to USCCA for sponsoring this video. Again, link in the description if you guys want to get a membership for their legal protection as well. But that's gonna do it for this video. Actually, on second thought, before I finish the video, editing it right now, I totally forgot to mention the winner of the giveaway. So there was a giveaway for any of my Facebook followers for this here, the Springfield Armory St. Victor 308 pistol. This one right here is mine though. Springfield Armory was cool enough to give out a different one that I don't have, but I'm gonna connect the winner with Springfield Armory and Addaball. Addaball is gonna be throwing in a 1 to 10X, which is super cool. But the winner was picked yesterday. I messaged him, and so he knows, and now we're kind of facilitating that, so he's gonna get it very, very soon. But that is an Austin out of the Northwest. He's actually in the US Army, stationed out of Fort Lewis. So I'm just super happy it's going to a Patriot. He told me he's looking forward to making some fireballs at his range when he gets his hands on it. So that'll be really fun. But anyway, thought I'd let you guys know. But now with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna go back to editing it now.